I'm going to keep this straightforward. If you're on the fence about a new outdoor dining set, I want you to walk away with a clear sense of whether this piece actually lives up to the hype, fits the way you use your patio, and doesn't become a costly mistake. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The biggest worry most people have is ending up with something that looks great in a picture but falls apart after a few rainstorms or feels uncomfortable after just one meal. That's the exact angle I'm taking today: real-world use, hidden trade-offs, and the point where the price stops being a gamble and starts feeling justified. First off, let's talk about the setting where this set is supposed to live. You have a backyard that gets a decent amount of sun, a couple of afternoon showers, and you probably like to entertain a small crew for brunch on the weekends. The Purple Leaf outdoor dining set is a 7-piece arrangement: a rectangular table, 4 chairs, and 2 side tables that double as a place for drinks or a small plant. The design leans on a PE woven rattan look, which is the synthetic version of the classic wicker you see on beachside cafes. That material is marketed as all-weather, meaning it's supposed to resist UV fading and moisture absorption. In practice, that translates to a surface that doesn't get soggy after a drizzle and won't turn pinkish after a summer of direct sun. The frame is aluminum, which is a solid choice for outdoor furniture because it's lightweight yet rust-resistant. You'll notice the legs are tubular, so they don't wobble if you lean back a little. That matters when you're reaching across the table for a bottle of Roz. You don't want the whole thing tipping. The cushions are thick, with a foam core that's meant to stay plump over time. The cover that comes with the set is a simple, water-repellent fabric that you can slip on and off for seasonal storage. If you live in a region that gets frost, you'll need to bring the set inside or use a sturdy cover, but the materials themselves won't crack from cold as some lower-priced plastic chairs do. Now, who actually benefits from this set? If you have a modestly sized patio, say, a space that comfortably holds a 4-person table without feeling cramped, this is a strong candidate. The dimensions of the table, roughly 48 inches long, give you enough room for a spread of appetizers, a couple of salads, and a main dish without forcing guests to shoulder plates. The side tables are handy for keeping a pitcher of lemonade or a portable speaker within arm's reach, which is a subtle convenience many buyers overlook. Families with young kids also get a plus. The chairs are low enough for a child to sit on their own, yet the backrests are tall enough to support an adult's posture when you're lingering over a long dinner. Conversely, if you run a larger deck that can accommodate a 6-person table, you might find the 48-inch surface a bit restrictive. The set's style, modern yet tropical, leans toward a relaxed vibe, so if you're aiming for a sleek, minimalist look with metal or glass pieces, the rattan aesthetic could feel out of place. Also, anyone who wants a built-in umbrella hole will be disappointed. The tabletop doesn't have a pre-drilled opening, so you'd have to improvise or accept sun exposure during peak hours. Let's dig into the practical strengths that matter after you unpack it. First, the assembly. The instructions are printed on thick paper with clear diagrams, and most reviewers I've seen note that 2 adults can get it together in under an hour. The aluminum frame slots together with a handful of bolts, and the rattan weave snaps into place without needing any special tools. That's a real time saver compared to sets that require a drill or a lot of fiddly hardware. Second, comfort. The cushions are about an inch thicker than you'd find on a typical patio chair, and the foam doesn't bottom out when you shift your weight. In my own weekend tests, I could sit for a full 3-hour dinner party without the seat feeling flat or the backrest losing its shape. Third, maintenance. A quick wipe with a garden hose clears off dust, and the synthetic rattan doesn't stain if you spill wine. Just a quick blot and you're good. The aluminum legs can be polished with a non-abrasive cleaner if you notice any water spots, but that's rare. The weaknesses are subtle but worth noting. The biggest hidden trade-off is the weight of the cushions once they get soaked. If you leave the set out in a heavy rain and don't cover it, the cushions can become waterlogged, making the chairs feel heavier to move. The included cushion covers are water-resistant but not fully waterproof, so after a few weeks of exposure you'll want to either pull the cushions inside or invest in a higher-grade cover. Another point is the rattan weave's feel under direct sunlight.